What if the reason you feel tired all the time is not because you work too much? What if it's because your entire life has become performance? Think about it. Every day you wake up, check your phone, compare yourself to strangers, measure your worth through productivity, and silently panic that you are falling behind. And the scary part, you have done it for so long, it feels normal now. Nobody talks about this enough. Modern life in America is exhausting people psychologically. Not just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. People are making more money than ever before, yet feeling more empty than ever before. And deep down you already know this, because maybe your life looks fine from the outside. Maybe you have a job, maybe you pay your bills, maybe you even smile in public. But at night, when everything gets quiet, you feel it. That strange pressure in your chest, that feeling that life is moving fast, but somehow you are emotionally standing still. This is the hidden epidemic nobody wants to admit. People are not only burned out from work, they are burned out from pretending. Pretending they're okay, pretending they're motivated, pretending they have direction. Pretending they're not scared, especially men, because modern society gives men a silent message. Your value depends on your success, not your peace, not your emotional health. Not your humanity, your success, your income, your status, your results. And if you fall behind, you feel invisible. That pressure changes people. It turns life into survival mode. You stop living naturally. You start optimizing yourself like a machine. Every hobby becomes monetized. Every skill becomes a side hustle. Every free moment feels guilty. Relaxing feels irresponsible. And slowly, without realizing it, you lose the ability to simply exist. That's why so many people feel numb now, not sad, not happy, just disconnected. Because the human brain was never designed for this level of constant stimulation. Think about your average day: notifications, emails, news, social media, ads, comparison. Noise. Your nervous system never rests, even when your body does. That's why people feel tired after doing nothing, because mentally they never stop consuming. And the worst part, most people think this is a motivation problem. It's not. It's overstimulation. Your brain is overloaded. You are carrying too much information, too many expectations, too many invisible pressures. And eventually, your mind starts protecting itself. You procrastinate, you avoid. You scroll endlessly, you disconnect emotionally, not because you're lazy, but because your system is exhausted. This is why discipline feels impossible for so many people now. Not because they lack ambition, because they lack mental clarity. And clarity cannot exist in constant chaos, but social media made chaos look normal. Now everybody feels behind. You open your phone and within minutes you see someone richer than you, someone younger than you succeeding, someone traveling, someone buying a house, someone becoming famous. Your brain interprets this as reality, even though you are only seeing highlights. And slowly, comparison becomes identity. You stop asking, "What do I actually want?" and start asking, "How do I catch up?" That question destroys peace. Because there will always be someone ahead of you, always. And if your self-worth depends on being ahead, you will never rest. That is why so many successful people are secretly miserable. They achieved the goal. But the anxiety stayed, because the real problem was never external, it was internal. This is the trap of modern ambition. People chase goals hoping they will finally feel enough. But enough is not a financial state, it's a psychological state. And if your mind is constantly searching for validation, no amount of success will satisfy it. This is why people sabotage their own peace. They don't know how to stop chasing. Because stopping feels dangerous. If they stop, they might feel worthless. So they keep moving, keep working, keep scrolling, keep consuming. Keep distracting themselves, anything to avoid silence. Because silence forces truth to appear, and truth is uncomfortable. Truth says, you are exhausted, you are emotionally disconnected, you are addicted to stimulation. You are terrified of slowing down, but maybe slowing down is exactly what you need. Not quitting life, not giving up ambition, just reconnecting with yourself again. Because somewhere along the way, many people stopped living intentionally. They started reacting automatically: wake up, check phone, rush, stress, consume, sleep. Repeat. That's not living, that's survival with Wi-Fi. And millions of Americans are trapped in it right now, quietly. Functioning on the outside, breaking internally, and nobody notices because everybody else is doing the same thing. That's what makes it dangerous. Dysfunction became culture, burnout became normal. Anxiety became personality, overworking became identity. People now brag about being exhausted, as if destroying yourself means you're important. But constantly being busy does not mean your life has meaning. Sometimes it only means you are afraid to stop and face yourself. That realization changes everything, because once you understand that, you stop blindly chasing external things. You start asking deeper questions, questions like, why am I actually doing this? What am I trying to prove? Who taught me that my worth depends on achievement? And for many people, those answers lead back to childhood, to emotional neglect, to pressure, to fear, to never feeling fully accepted. So now achievement becomes emotional survival, success becomes love. Money becomes safety, and failure feels personal. That's why modern pressure feels so heavy. People are not just trying to survive financially. They are trying to survive emotionally, and those are two very different battles. The problem is most people only treat the external symptoms: more coffee, more productivity hacks, more motivation videos, more dopamine. But the internal wound remains untouched, and eventually it catches up. That's when people suddenly break down, not because one bad thing happened, but because years of pressure finally overflowed, and maybe that's where you are right now. Not completely broken, but tired in a way sleep cannot fix, emotionally drained, mentally noisy, spiritually disconnected, and deep down you know something has to change. Because if nothing changes, this cycle repeats forever. The same stress, the same comparison, the same emotional exhaustion disguised as ambition. And one day you wake up older, realizing you spent your entire life chasing a version of success that never actually made you feel alive. That realization hurts, because modern culture teaches people how to perform but not how to feel peace. Nobody teaches emotional regulation in school. Nobody teaches people how to sit alone with their thoughts. Nobody teaches people that self-worth and productivity are not the same thing. So people grow up believing, if I achieve enough, then I will finally feel valuable. But value does not work like that. Because the moment your worth depends on achievement, you become emotionally fragile. Every failure feels like identity collapse. Every rejection feels personal. Every mistake feels like proof that you are not enough. That pressure slowly destroys people internally, especially in modern America where comparison never stops. Think about how unnatural this lifestyle really is. For most of human history, people compared themselves to maybe a few dozen people around them. Now you compare yourself to millions every single day: millionaires, athletes, influencers, entrepreneurs, perfect bodies, perfect lives, perfect relationships. Your brain cannot emotionally process this level of comparison. So it creates anxiety, and anxiety creates urgency. That's why people constantly feel behind even when they are doing okay. Because social media removed the feeling of arrival, there is always another level. Another person, another lifestyle, and the algorithm benefits from your insecurity. Because insecure people consume more, they buy more, scroll more, compare more, escape more. Modern attention economy profits from emotional instability. That's why protecting your peace today is almost an act of rebellion. Because peace does not sell products, insecurity does. And once you realize that, you stop allowing the internet to define your self-worth. You stop measuring your life through constant comparison. You stop confusing visibility with value. Because somebody posting a perfect life online does not mean they feel peace internally. Many people today look successful but feel emotionally empty. They have followers but no connection, money but constant anxiety, attention but no inner stability, and this is becoming extremely common among young men. Men are silently struggling right now, not always financially, emotionally. Many feel lost, disconnected, directionless, but instead of talking about it, they distract themselves. Gaming, scrolling, pornography, endless entertainment, work addiction. Anything that numbs emotion temporarily, because modern culture rewards emotional suppression. Men are told, be strong, keep pushing, don't complain, so they suffer quietly. And eventually, that emotional suppression turns into burnout, anger, numbness, or depression. But here's the truth nobody says enough: you are not weak for feeling overwhelmed. You are human. Your nervous system was not built for constant stimulation, comparison, and pressure. And healing begins the moment you stop treating yourself like a machine. Because you are not a productivity robot, you are a human being. You need rest, stillness, connection, meaning. Without those things, success feels empty. That's why some people achieve everything they wanted and still feel unhappy. Because external success without internal peace creates emotional emptiness. Now listen carefully, this does not mean ambition is bad, ambition is powerful. Building wealth is powerful, improving yourself is powerful. But it becomes destructive when your entire identity depends on it. Because then, you are no longer building a better life. You are trying to escape yourself, and nothing external can permanently solve an internal disconnect. That's why real transformation starts internally first. You rebuild your relationship with yourself. You learn how to slow down without guilt. You learn how to exist without constant stimulation. You learn how to separate your worth from your productivity. And slowly, your nervous system changes. You stop reacting emotionally to everything. You stop panicking about being behind. You stop needing constant validation. That is real freedom, not just financial freedom, psychological freedom. The ability to feel peace without needing external proof. And ironically, that's when life usually improves externally too. Because clear minds make better decisions, calm people create better habits. Emotionally grounded people build healthier relationships. And people who trust themselves stop wasting energy trying to impress everyone else. That shift changes everything. You begin living intentionally instead of reactively. You stop chasing every trend. You stop forcing yourself into lifestyles you don't even want. You stop consuming endlessly just because you feel empty inside. And for the first time in years, you finally feel present. That feeling is priceless, because peace is the foundation of a meaningful life. Not status, not likes, not constant hustle, peace. And maybe that is what you were truly searching for all along. Not more noise, not more validation, just relief, relief from pressure. Relief from pretending, relief from constantly feeling not enough. And the beautiful part, you do not need permission to change your life. You can start today by slowing down. By protecting your attention, by questioning what actually matters to you. Not what social media says matters. You, because at the end of your life, nobody will care how optimized your schedule was. They will care, did you truly live? Did you truly connect? Did you feel peace? Did you become yourself? That is the real success most people forget to chase. If this video spoke to something deep inside you, comment peace below. And subscribe for more deep psychological content about money, identity, modern pressure, and self-mastery. Because in a world addicted to noise, learning how to protect your mind may become the ultimate advantage.